We finally have some new info for Spider-Man 2, specifically on a playable location, and James Stevenson, the community manager at Insomniac Games, has rattled the internet sharing an image, and a new PS5 rumor is surfacing around that could actually be bad news for both Marvel Spider-Man 2 and Final Fantasy 16. Tons to get through, let's dive into it. So we finally have some new info for Spider-Man 2 on a playable location, and to bring you up to speed, a comic was released for Spider-Man 2 despite us knowing next to nothing about the game. Now the most notable tease in this comic seems to be that Queens may very well be a playable area in the game. Now this is where things actually start to get a little crazy, because a while back, as in last year, someone was able to figure out that there would be various locations based on numbers shown in the teaser trailer that basically represented areas which, may I add, literally took a whole year plus to be discovered. Now bear in mind, the first game took place in Manhattan, and teasers in Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales that Peter Parker would be moving to Queens to live in Aunt May's house, and from this comic book it basically confirms that that's exactly what has happened. All of this would make a lot of sense, especially given the teasers that Venom's voice actor gave about the game, saying how we'll all be shocked and that it's big, plus the area code stuff as well. It all kind of makes sense now, and that was teasers that we got last year, and this kind of just brings it to light. So despite this being unconfirmed, it basically has too much evidence for it to be real as opposed to not real. Now Marvel Spider-Man 2 is no doubt going to be a big seller for the PlayStation 5 this year, alongside Final Fantasy as well, but one rumor surrounding the console could actually be trouble for both games. Now rumors of an enhanced PS5 Pro have begun heating up, with leakers basically hinting at the console's existence. Now while the base PlayStation 5 hardware is still able to offer players just that top-notch experience for the most part, the bulky size of the console, limited storage capacity, and of course new titles pushing the hardware to its limit make the enhanced redesign appealing. I mean, just look at Star Wars Jedi Survivor for example. Now here's the thing, this only becomes an issue for people, in my opinion, on storage size more so over graphics and even performance as a whole. However, I think it would definitely allow games currently being developed to have a smoother time, just assuming that it would have a bigger SSD, meaning devs won't have to completely hold back on certain things. And that's why I said, like with Star Wars Jedi Survivor being so big, so many people who didn't change the SSD literally had to, free up storage on the console by deleting games, etc, etc. So it just depends on you as an individual, but from that standpoint, I think instead of looking at that negatively, it should actually be looked at positively, as it just means more advantage can be taken off the PlayStation 5 without, the devs for the most part being limited to, the game size, and just with the fear of the base storage as a whole. Now it would be bad news in my opinion if it was like, okay, the PlayStation 6 is coming out in 6 months. That's an issue. So I think this is kind of being a bit overhyped in the sense of, okay, it's going to be that big of an issue for existing games and new games coming out in the next couple of months, but that's just my 2 cents on that. Now James Stevenson, the community director at Insomniac Games, tweeted the following: "The best part about Free Comic Book Day was another chance to put this amazing Spider-Man 2 PS5 screenshot into print." And of course at this point it is somewhat of a meme, as it's literally the only screenshot we have for this game. And well, at this point, I don't think all fans are finding it as funny as it once was. But talking of big games, Hogwarts Legacy got the biggest update since launch the other day, so check out the video that you see on screen.